This witch was born to be devil, and her little game is black magic. She means to take over. Come to a quiet place in the country where a few friends gather to get away from it all.
Don't look at me like that, Chris.
I'm taking Betty away from here now. You can make her do just what you want, can't you?
Cross over into the occult.
Do you think she's untouched?
Virgins are hard to come by, as you very well know, Gerald.
And no timid virgin welcomes the devil.
For the last few days, I've had to do certain things. And they've all led me here.
You have great gifts, Christine, a great power. I want you out of here. I don't like this place. I don't like these people.
Something wicked is coming your way. The Virgin Witch.
She wants to be initiated. Betty is my sacrifice.
You don't believe in witches? You'd better believe in the Virgin Witch. She'll blow your mind.
Hopefully she'll blow your mind, or, she'll at least make you think about things.
Yeah.
If you didn't get enough naked witches in the first movie, you came to the right place.
Yeah.
Virgin Witch #2.
Yeah. Welcome to the Virgin Witch hour of the show. Jen's back. It's late, but she's staying up.
I am. What did you guys think? Looks like a lot of people liked it. Thought it was interesting.
Yeah. I completely agree with David. The music is awesome. The love theme from Blood Sabbath is my favorite part. I want somebody to cover that. It's pretty great.
I love it. You already knew I loved it because I said that in the first segment.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. So
yeah.
We're having a debate off screen. Is he dead the whole time or not?
It's
is he
very
just traumatized.
It's very Occurrence at Owl Creek Bridge.
Yeah, that's a good comparison.
Yeah.
And you don't even really know that it sort of like doubles back on itself for a minute there, because first he's presumably a living person and then somehow he gives up his soul.
Yeah.
So what is he then? And then there's some other like hoop he has to jump through at the end, and you're like, what, is he dead or is he alive?
Yeah.
And then there's the flashback to traumatic Vietnam, I guess, is what they're going for there.
He had the horrible misfortune of having someone throw a beer at him and then hang their boobs out the window earlier too, which that's what that flashback.
Yeah.
Rebecca was like, nobody does that. Whatever.
Why were they mean?
Yeah. She's like, who would do that?
No.
They were so mean.
Everybody was mean in this, except for the girl he's in love with, but they're all pulling hair and just generally being, maybe that's his experience of girls, is he's only met mean ones as he's dying in Vietnam or not. How about that robe that Diana Thorne had though? That was the highlight for me. Pretty awesome. She looks super severe all the time. She looks upset even when she's happy. So I dig that. But I liked it. He did. Frank said he carried his guitar like a rifle. He sure did. I like to think that of the time of this movie, there were just a bunch of barefoot young hippie men trying to figure it out, hitchhiking through America, carrying guitars, meeting witches, and guys that live in huts, and having beers thrown on them by topless women. Mm-hmm. So this shows the America that I've always known to be true.
Yeah.
Yeah. Today they would just do it on the internet. I don't know what that means, but whatever.
A lot of people are saying they get a touch of Satan vibe. Yeah.
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 Very good.
I felt the same way. It's a little, it's reminiscent of so many movies,
Mhm.
and yet it's got a little bit of Death Dream in there too. Even though I guess that movie hadn't even been made yet.
Yeah.
No.
Just thematically, there's strange associations with other movies. And
Chris asks, is this in the Messiah of Evil universe? Yeah. I think it could be.
well, yeah.
Yeah.
Poor Lonzo. I agree. Lonzo's probably my favorite character.
I want to know. I have questions, of course. I
Okay.
always have stupid questions about the movies. But my first dumb question is, why did the severed head have cobwebs all over it? Because she had just done it. I mean, it wasn't like the head had been there for 50 years and spiders were doing their things, or what set decorators swoosh some stuff over them before the camera rolls. So why was it covered in cobwebs? I don't know.
Mm-mm.
Maybe it was set down somewhere where there were a lot of cobwebs, and then they were like, "Oh, hey, we got to move this head."
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure one of the other girls like shook the other girl and slapped her, and she was like, "We were trying to keep this severed head clean, and you set it down in the cobweb patch."
Yeah.
And she was, but you got to keep, if you're going to surprise someone with a severed head, you got to keep it moist and nice,
Yeah. Yeah. Get some of that hyaluronic acid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chemical peel.
Because you want it to look like the person they were when they're alive, because otherwise you like surprise them with the head and people be like, yeah, all right. Like, no, that was Lonzo. Oh, like, you got to hit them with it.
Yeah.
If you're going to cut off heads, and I'm not telling you should. Legally, I can't say that you should.
Mm.
Yeah, please don't.
Yeah, maybe don't. But if you are going to, don't leave it in the cobwebs.
Yeah.
Don't have that many cobwebs around, too.
No. Yeah.
Keep your Coven's sacristy clean, or whatever it's called. I don't know what the proper temple. Keep it clean.
Cave. Yeah.
Cave. I mean, is it evil to be clean? No, but you should be. Like, you just for appearances. Like, what if the devil shows up and he's like, guys, come on, this is not right.
Yeah.
I always think of that time in Werewolf versus Vampire Woman at the end where she's performing a satanic ritual and summoning forth the devil. Mm-hmm. And you see his shadow on the wall coming down, and she's like, my master is coming. And then all of a sudden the shadow goes and like backs up. Like there's something so horrible in there that the devil wouldn't even come in there.
Yeah.
So maybe that's where that was coming from.
The devil's like, wait, what is going on in this movie?
Yeah.
How did he become a werewolf? And the devil's like, oh, all right, I'm just going to come back later.
This is a sunny film. There's a lot of bright scenes.
I like that about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Daylight horror.
Yeah.
It's a love story, but I guess maybe not a good one. If someone says, hey, I love you so much that we need your soul, you're like, but do you? Like, if we're getting into the idea of souls exist, let's just set that up. If they do, then yes. Then maybe you shouldn't give it up. But this is
how could you?
Yeah.
I mean, I still don't understand what exactly was going on there, but it's best not to question the Coven of Witches.
Yeah, exactly. They have their own logic, and it's dreamy logic. They only wear underwear when the cops are there on the shoot, and for that one scene.
Yep.
Otherwise, they'll go completely nude. But there's times where they're just going to be, hey, you know what? Let's leave underwear on.
Yeah, and don't forget that all of the soul taking was to ensure a good crop for the villagers.
Yeah. So it goes to a good thing.
Yeah.
I mean, as we've learned in Children of the Corn, they don't really grow the corn anymore. I guess everybody's surviving. Those kids have been living for a while without any power in the town. I start to think about things like, well, who's paying the electric bill and stuff like that. And like this movie at least skirts those issues because people just live in the woods
Yeah.
and swim through the water. Who swims in their dress? That's another question. Like she just like swam away in her dress, and it's like, isn't that going to be kind of
That pond kind of looked a bit mucky.
yeah?
I was like,
it's just going to dry white after that.
She's
yeah.
gonna just hang it up somewhere on a tree branch.
Yeah, I don't know. But I guess if you're going to join a coven of witches, this is the one to join. Everybody seems pretty, I mean, catty, but happy.
It's definitely weird. It's kind of that very much early 70s psychedelic witch type movie.
I have the feeling, as much as I love the 70s, that your chances of dying from witchcraft were way higher in the 70s than they are today. Like you would just like, you'd be like just trying to hitchhike across the country with your guitar and someone throws a beer at you and next thing you know, you meet a witch. And that's how it goes. But today that probably wouldn't happen. You'd just keep walking. You take an Uber and you wouldn't meet a witch.
No, you might meet a serial killer.
Yeah. Yeah, but that serial killer is not going to sell your soul for crops or use your soul for crops. They're just going to kill you.
Yeah.
Where's the art? Where's the art gone? Where's the craft gone?
No.
Literally, where's the craft gone in this? So that's what I have to say about this movie. Loved it. I'll probably watch it several times. This feels like the kind of movie I can put on and just zone out to, and just,
that's what I like about it.
Yeah, and then just wake up.
It's the music. It's a lot of it is the music, and it's just such a like kind of chilled out kind of vibe. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
I like we said in the first segment. We said, Jen, you just kind of came around to this movie. You didn't like it that much the first time you saw it.
No, it took me about the second time I saw it. I was like, but the fact that I went back to it again, was like, okay, click on the. I think what happened was it was like a few years between I saw it the first and the second time, and of course I saw it when I was a teenager, but I saw it again on Tubi a few years ago, and then it came up as a suggestion after I was watching something else, and it was like, yeah, I could watch this again. And then I started to really like it, just the feel of it, and the whole, that whole era. I like movies from this era in particular. So I like the vindictiveness of the hippies. I really do, because it's like,
they weren't too far from Manson followers. They were just like another couple of steps,
Yeah.
That's what happens. Like post Manson, there are no good hippies in movies. Like they're all evil. Like they make a switch real quick. Versus before this, they were all like misunderstood and put upon. And not anymore. They're dangerous. Your children will come at you with knives. Is Manson's
Terror on the beach.
Yeah.
Look out, Susan Day.
Yeah, they're out there. Oh, I do love. I prefer my hippies evil in movies. I like, or like the ones that are in. What's the Suave movie? Where there's like the one that's like Jesus. Like anytime like just a lone hippie comes up to your house in a movie, you just like it's going to be bad. Like, you know what I mean? It's just the worst. Whoa. Dustin had good suggestions. Werewolf Woman and After Blood Sabbath. That's a great suggestion.
What was the one I said I had afterwards?
Oh, I can't remember.
Crypt of Dark Secrets. We talked about that. That's perfect, really. Did you have you shown that on this show?
No, we haven't. We definitely need to.
We may be doing it soon.
Yeah.
Well, we were talking about it, so we probably are going to do it. So I don't know what we're going to show the first time we come back, but later on you'll see the trailer for Crypt of Dark Secrets on the third segment.
Okay.
It's perfect for the show. It really is.
It is.
Yeah.
I think so too.
Yeah.
I don't know why we haven't done it yet.
It's kind of a similar vibe. I really like that one. That one, I've gone back to that like every couple of years.
That beginning when she levitates, that was Don Davison's spook show rig that he used for the beginning of it.
Oh wow!
Because he had originally shot that as a PG movie, and it didn't make any money, and he went back and they added in a lot of scenes. Obviously, it's not a PG movie anymore.
Yeah.
And it's like, wow, that's pretty sweet. So,
the next one I think is a little different. It's got a more of a Wicker Man vibe. This next,
yeah. I just watched the documentary about the children of the Wicker Men, which is about his sons, and they kind of track down people that are still alive that made it, and they didn't really know their father at all because he had 12 children with 5 different wives or 5 different lovers. So it's like kind of them bonding over their past through trying to study this movie that they tried to avoid for a long time. It's playing festivals now, but it was really good. Yeah, it's funny because like there's so much of it they talk about that when it first came out that nobody liked it, and it kind of got lost until it played America, and then when it was over here, it kind of rebuilt its name and came back as this big success.
Yeah.
So
when it first played, exciting. It was on a double bill with "Don't Look Now."
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
It is crazy. It's fucking nuts. Could you imagine seeing those two movies together? And you've never seen them?
Downer Night at the Movies.
Yeah. Well, yeah, there's that too.
Yeah.
Well, it was the 70s.
Yeah, man. Every movie in the 70s. That's what I always think. Like, I watched all those Shaw Brothers movies last month, and even the happiest child-friendly Shaw Brothers movie ends with the hero getting killed. So many of them where they're like, oh yeah, we should probably kill this guy off, and that's how it ends.
Yeah. I like Blood Brothers because David Chang gets drawn and quartered on camera.
Yeah.
Ew.
It's great.
What? Yeah. It's just so wild because it's like, then they make sequels to some of them. Like, huh? I saw this movie and the hero got killed. Like, yeah, well, it's like his cousin. It's the same actor. Don't worry about it. We'll get into it. I mean, they did a whole genre of movies after Bruce Lee died of, hey, Bruce Lee's, there's 5 Bruce Lees now, or 6. And it's like, you know,
here just depends on how you spell it.
Yep.
Yeah. Bruce L.I. is my favorite, Bill. I texted Bill and so happy this week because there's Return of the Tiger has him fight Paul Smith at the end of it. And it's the best fight I've ever seen. Like it goes on for like 15 minutes and it's just Paul Smith throwing him through windows, hitting him with bricks. Like he's just picking, like he literally picks up a girder and throws it at him at one point. And it's like, it's the most cartoony fight you've ever, it's like a Bud Spencer fight.
Oh, it's great.
Yeah, and like Bruce Lee throws he throws this flying wire kick at him, and he catches his leg and just throws him. And he goes tumbling through the air. And I was like, "This is the awesomest thing I've ever seen. So good, love it." But anyway, I'm glad we watched this. I'm super excited for Virgin Witch because I've been reading up. I haven't seen that one either. This is, I think, the first time we've ever done a show where I haven't seen either movie. So this is super exciting. Jen usually bring animal attack movies and not.
I know. I
figured
we'd do witch movies. Yeah.
You could have done Monster Dog and hit both of them. You could have, you know.
Yeah.
I think the first one you did on our show was Blood Freak.
It was.
Yeah.
Still, every Thanksgiving, fire that puppy up. Yeah.
I think
right after you smoke a doob.
Yeah.
And eat a whole turkey.
You feed the family turkey, you bring them together, and you say, we're going to watch Blood Freak together. And then all the kids have to give a little, like, they have to stand up and do a little play where they talk about their feelings about it.
Blood Freak?
Yeah. Blood Freak.
What about the children? What are they going to look like?
Yeah.
These are valid questions.
That's a valid question.
Yeah. I do know about Virgin Witches. There's a scene in it where they talk about how the entire advertising industry is based on witchcraft.
It's a great quote.
Yeah, and 100%. Yes, there's not enough time. When I first started, I'm like, when do we get to put all the Satanism and subliminal messages in it? And I realized deadlines are so tight. It must happen after I do them. Do you know what I mean? They must we must ship it off to the Satanic Agency and then they do it because I've never got a chance to do it. I did get accused once we did a product for Mattel called Fidget Friends, and people were super mad about them because we said that they came from the happiest place on earth. And I got a letter from someone that said, there is no truly happy place on earth. The only happy place is in heaven. And I said, okay. And they're like, therefore, these two words are satanic. Also, one of them's name was Logan because we wanted one to have kind of sort of a boy's name, even they were all girls, because if boys wanted to play with them, they wouldn't feel bad, I guess. Someone was very upset about that. Like, Logan is obviously some hermaphrodite creature. I'm like, these were like blobs that sang. Like, they were like the dumbest toys. And
did it look like Wolverine, the Logan?
No, it didn't. It was green and it had like little, it looked very Wicker Man-y, really.
Oh,
but they're like, we detect a lot of astrology within these toys. I'm like, there is none. And
astrology.
Yeah, I don't like, where did that come from? Because there were stars around them. Like when they appeared, there was like little glitter around them when they appeared. It's like,
okay.
It's not like He-Man. I can point to the stuff in He-Man. I'm like, yeah, that definitely is. And like in Thundercats, definitely. But like not Fidget Friends. These were, we had like 3 weeks to write the script for the little movie that came with them, which was such a weird experience. I always wanted to work on toys, and did you work on G.I. Joe? No, I worked on Fidget Friends. Like, I've never heard of that. Like, nobody has. You can buy it at Ollie's or Big Lots.
We kind of as quickly as they came in. Fidget spinners, they're gone now. Nobody sells those anymore here.
No.
Yeah.
Before we start talking about Virgin Witch, I want to remind everybody to hit like on the video and subscribe on the YouTube channel. We really appreciate it. And many thanks to this week's sponsor, Mike Justice.
Oh, thanks, Mike.
Sent us a donation last week. If you'd like to sponsor one of the episodes, just send us a small donation to groovydoom@gmail.com via PayPal.
Yeah.
And we'll put your name in lights on the program. It'll be spectacular.
Yeah. And everybody in chat will love you for doing it. So, so please do it.
Yep. I found out a really interesting little bit of trivia about Virgin Witch.
Yes.
I didn't even plan it this way, but I was looking at where it was filmed, and it was actually filmed where I live, part of it. And I'm like looking, and I'm like, that can't be unless it's like the field out by the, there's a scene in the beginning where they're in the little village. And if you look behind, it's Vicky Michelle. You'll see a pub that says Double Diamond, and it is still there, but it's no longer that. It's now Fire Stables. But that was, I think we talked about this before on another episode. That was one of Oliver Reed's haunts when he was still living. Yeah. So
that's exciting.
Also, the country house from this is the same location as Satan's Slaves and Terror, the Norman J. Warren movies, which is pretty cool.
Yep. I wasn't sure if it was the same house from The Devil Rides Out, but it isn't. I double checked because manor houses kind of all from that period all look the same. So it's, I was like checking the frames going, no, it's not the same house. But yeah, it was in Satan's Slave for sure.
Oh, man. The writer and producer of this both used pseudonyms too, because they were working in TV and they were working on more upper crust productions, and sex movies at this time were, well, like any time, they've never become respectable. Certainly not respectable at this point in England either. But yeah, which I thought was easy. The same people that worked on it, which is sports commentator Kent Walton, is using the name Ralph Solomons, and co-producers Hazel Adair, who co-created the show Crossroads. She also wrote the song that Abby Dark sings in this. But she also did the movies Clinic Exclusive, Can You Keep It Up for a Week, Keep It Up Downstairs, and Game for Vultures, or four of her other movies that she used this pseudonym for. So Keep It Up Downstairs is a great title, though.
It is a great title.
Yeah. I love it. I also like all the confession movies, like Confessions of a Window Washer, and there's a box set of those that just came out, and I'm like, man, do I want to spend the money on it? Yes, I do. Yeah. But yeah, this was filmed in 1970 and didn't come out because there were censorship problems with it until 1972. So they say, unless you found something different.
No, that's pretty accurate. It was actually really easy to trace that looking through the newspapers because you could see that there were articles that ran in the British papers about it. I guess they needed some stuff to write about, and they would put things like that in the newspaper. I was like, how did this need to go in the newspaper like this? Films like The Virgin Witch meeting trouble with censorship, and like this is what they wanted people to read in the evening news. Anyway, it was kind of traceable, and then it came out officially in January of '72. I think it was very early '72. I'll dig up these ads since we already mentioned it. But
Ray Austin, who directed it, also directed House of the Living Dead and The Return of the Man from U.N.C.L.E. And he was also a stunt coordinator in the Avengers, and he taught Diana Rigg the kung fu that she did, making her one of the first people to do mainstream kung fu. He's also, crazy enough, the stepfather of Mickey Bereni from the band Lush. Which is wild, yeah, because his wife was Yasuko Nagazumi, who was on Space 1999.
Yeah, he directed quite a few of those episodes, I think.
Yeah. I was obsessed with it as a kid, and it's one of those shows now that like nobody really remembers in the US. Like it was like such a big deal when it was on. I think because there was that void after Star Trek there wasn't going to be any new Star Trek. Like, oh, this is going to be just like it. And it's like, yeah, kind of.
It's different. I had a lunchbox, a Space 1999 lunchbox.
We had the Eagle One, the big Mattel ship, and it had we had a pulley system for it. And one day, I don't know, this is a complete aside, but just go with me for a second. My brother used to walk around with this Ernie from Sesame Street doll, and I put it in Space 1999, and we put it up every night before we go to bed. We'd raise Space 1999. My brother couldn't find Ernie for a whole day. The entire house got flipped over, and my brother had a nervous. He was like 2. He had a nervous breakdown. That night, my dad lowered Space 99 for us, and there was Ernie driving it. And it was like a little figure like this. My dad's like, "Who the fuck put this thing on?" It was like one of the first times I heard my dad swear. He's like, "Why is he in Space 1999?" I'm like, "Because he wants to fly it." Yeah. So there you go.
Oh, that's great.
But yeah, man,
it could only happen in the '70s.
Yeah, it only could. Also, the director of this is also one of the stunt guys for North by Northwest and Spartacus.
Mm-hmm.
And man, he really did a ton of stuff.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he had a wild career. A lot of this TV stuff. Well, then after he retired from that, up until 2021, still writing novels. So he died in 2023.
He was 90.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's wild.
Yeah.
But it's crazy how many shows. Like he did the $6 Million Man reunion movie. He did like 3 or 4 episodes of V, the TV series. Like he really did.
Yeah,
he's got some really crazy credits.
He was one of the go-to guys of the era.
Probably really good at doing action from his stunt career, and so he was able to do stuff cheap and fast, and that's what works.
He knew where to put the camera, I'm sure. Yeah.
Wow, but I love this ad.
Yeah.
This is the January 1972 theatrical debut of Virgin Witch in London. I mean, it came out in the UK first.
The Windmill. Okay.
Inga, I Have Lust was the co-feature. So this really was sold like a sex film. And to be fair, there's a lot of like nude photography in this film. So, you were certainly getting your money's worth.
How would I even pronounce Inga's actress's name? That would be, it's really bad. That's like something from IKEA. Maria Liljandal.
Oh, yeah.
I think I have a shelf. With that name in the other room.
Yeah. Where's the Linjavel at? It's right next to the Lingonberry.
Oh, I threw it out. I didn't realize it was part of the setup.
Oh, yes.
It was
neither of these movies will be playing on Sundays, guys. Just so you know, they will not be playing on Sunday at the Windmill.
I don't know what was up with that.
Maybe
they had something else that was going on there. Was it a law? You can't show it on a Sunday?
I don't know.
Don't know.
Oh,
Kama Sutra playing with this. At the Cinephone on Market Street.
Yeah, they showed all the dirty movies at the Cinephone.
Ooh. Yeah.
There was a theater in Pittsburgh that was called the Cinephone as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah, many years ago. Like I think it was even during like the right after the debut of motion pictures.
Hmm.
The female animal.
Oh, that's not a tagline. That's a challenge.
Oh, Edgware Road.
Oh,
Do you know where this is, Jen?
I was just there the other night. Went to the museum.
oh,
So is this theater still in operation?
It is actually the museum I went to. Is
Hmm.
been turned into. It was an Odeon, and now it's a
Oh
modern.
wow!
They had Warhol and Basquiat and Damien Hirst, and so yeah, that's the building I was in.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool building. I gotta say, it's really cool.
I wasn't expecting this. I mean, this was not a planned moment.
It was not. No,
it wasn't scripted.
But I was like, because I asked one of the people that were working there, I was like, "This building is amazing," and they're like, "Yeah, it used to be an Odeon Cinema, and there aren't any other movie theaters there, so I'm assuming that's the one."
Here's a little more detail.
Yeah, I didn't know what the female animal was holding in that ad. Now I found out it's a cat.
Wonder what they were trying to say.
She likes cats.
So here's the U.S. art for the Virgin Witch.
Oh, what a double feature, Bill.
I have to say, the title of this movie is awesome. I mean, you don't get any more basic or better than the Virgin Witch.
Mm-mm.
It's just, yeah. Oh, well, maybe Pieces. It's exactly what you think it is.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes there's a "the" in the title. Other times it's just Virgin Witch, like on the title of the movie.
I think my DVD is just Virgin Witch, but I could be wrong.
It's like Eagles. There's no "the" on Eagles. It's just Eagles.
Yeah.
I like Joseph Brenner. Shameless. He's like, "What's your movie about, Joseph?" It's a bold look at the bizarre world of abnormal sexual behavior. Like, fuck. Okay.
We did that on the show too.
Yeah. Sure did. It was a prison in hell.
I feel sort of sad that this era is gone.
Oh,
yeah.
That there aren't movies like this, A, being made anymore, and B, being shown publicly.
Yeah.
You know.
There's no market for it anymore. Like there's no, you could, show it in a few places, but not like in those days where there were drive-ins all over the country.
Yeah.
And small theaters, neighborhood theaters. It's just not there anymore.
Oh, well.
There we go.
That's what I'm talking about.
This would get Sam's attention immediately.
It certainly does.
Hey, lady, have some chips? Lady Frankenstein.
Oh, Lady Frankenstein. I love her. Oh. Wow, the one tagline wasn't good enough. They threw another one in. She's the girl with the power.
As if you didn't get the meaning.
Yeah. She has the power to turn you off. Okay.
Yes, it was at the Dependable Drive-In.
It sure was. That was my favorite part of the show last week when our guest Steve was like, "What's the deal with this Dependable?" Well, let us tell you about it. Man. Oh. Wow, this played a lot of places. Oh.
So in some places, that title, The Virgin Witch, was a little bit too much for the local papers. So she became the Erotic Witch.
Isn't that worse?
They couldn't even match the font, really? I mean...
Yeah.
Also, they were like, what if it was an Exorcist movie?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that was another syndrome in the 70s where movies were marketed as an Exorcist film, even if it wasn't.
Yeah. Can she be exercised and survive?
She must be really out of shape.
Yeah.
If you're even questioning that.
Yeah. Maybe you should go to the gym before you get exercised. Oh. Ooh.
Here she was just the witch.
Yeah. She'll curl your mind.
Curl your mind?
But Naked Angels was okay.
Yeah, that's fine. Also, what is in that shape? It's like what? It's like a blob. It might be legs. It might be something.
She's turned on her side, sort of.
Yeah.
But she's turned funny.
Yeah. I'll still go see her. Plus, ... Camille 2000. Yeah.
Camille 2000. Yeah.
Yeah. Love it. Wow. This looks like a TV Guide ad. I love this ad. Gene Dixon says, it's horrible. No, I'm just kidding.
She didn't like it?
I don't know if Gene Dixon ever saw it. She's like, I'm really busy, Sam. Do I have to watch this? Yes, Gene, watch The Virgin Witch. Come on. What are you doing? Oh.
So here's something to just consume. So many movies here.
Oh, my God.
And look, there's Sound of Terror with The Other. How strange is that?
And Vanishing Point.
Yeah, that's obviously probably the one that you would rather see.
I love The Other.
Sound of Terror.
So I love The Other so much. Invasion of the Blood Farmers and Blood and Lace, Bill, is.
Yeah, that's where I'm going right there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Man, the Virgin Witch punching you right in the baby maker. That's what's the baby maker. Oh, man. What a night. French Connection and MASH, like the people that went to Plainville were like, we're not going to go see those regular drive-in movies.
They don't see movies like that.
No, we're going to see
a lowercase R.
Yeah, we're going to see something classy.
We're going to see French Connection and MASH. They are not dirty movies, so please make it a lowercase R so people know that. Vanishing
Point with What's Up Doc is a ridiculous double feature. Like what? That's like warring audiences. That's like somebody's like says to their wife, I really want to see a movie with cars. I really want to see a movie with Barbara Streisand. All right, we'll go see them both. Like that's kind of how that one got to be put up there. Dirty Harry and the Wild Bunch was just all guys.
That's amazing. Yeah, but Superfly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Skin Game.
Skin Game. What is that?
I don't know, but that's a pretty good one too. That's a Soldier Blue and Carnal Knowledge. That's still another kind of fancy one too. Like we're just gonna go see these. We're gonna go see some art movies at the Farmington and the Plainville. Maybe you want to go to Blue Hills in Manchester.
Will do, Dustin.
Yeah. Stephanie Rothman closing it out with Velvet Vampire.
Yeah.
Yeah. I watched her Terminal Island this weekend. Holy cow, that movie's awesome. It's so good. It like presages Escape from New York. I love it. Man, Bill, this is a Bill and Sam night at the movies. Look at this. Terror House, Devil's Reign.
Yep.
Oh.
Yeah, the Virgin Witch and the Devil's Reign were a double feature.
Wow.
That's right. Because I remember that's where I got the idea to pick this movie was when you did that episode a couple weeks ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because I've been thinking about asking you to do Blood Sabbath for a while, but I couldn't figure out what to pick with it.
Anything you say, we will do, Jen. Yeah. But Terror House, this was like right when it was starting to get rolled out as a second feature.
Yeah.
As Terror House. I think the earliest I ever found it playing under that title is like 1976. But this was 78. At least. It was probably 79.
Oh.
Here she goes.
There she goes. I love the border of this, Bill, that like pattern around it. It's so nice.
that's what turns me on and turns me off.
Yeah. And then blows your mind. Ooh, Charles Bronson coming next with the Valachi
The
Papers.
Valachi Papers. How about that?
Yeah. Ooh. There you go.
I think there's one more. Oh yeah, there we go.
Yeah. This looks like her album cover with that Ohio Theater. It looks like like the label.
Mm.
Yeah, you're right.
Rhino Records.
Yeah, it's like the old Rhino. Yeah, that's it. Oh man, I love it. Our actresses in this movie have been in quite a few things. They're sisters.
Mm-hmm.
Anne and Vicky Michelle. You may recognize Anne from several things. She was in, this is her fifth movie. She was in The Death Wheelers, of course, aka Psychomania.
Yep. She's
pretty great in that. She's also in House of Whipcord and Jess Franco's Marquise de Sade's Justine and Young Lady Chatterley, too. She does not like to talk about this movie, and her and her sister both refused to sign it at conventions. Oh. They had bad experiences. They said they were only making this movie for nudity. Welcome to the 70s, ladies. Vicky, her
what did they think it was about?
Yeah. Vicky, her sister, was on a TV show called Allo Allo in the UK. Yep. So she's a big deal from that. She has
Emmerdale's a big soap opera that's been on for like 50 years.
Oh, yeah?
So both movies tonight have soap opera people.
Oh, yeah.
She's also...
Yeah. She's also in the sequel to Alfie Darling with Joan Collins.
Oh.
And she was in Queen Kong, and she's in The Sentinel very briefly. She's on TV, and one of the TVs in The Sentinel, and she's in the TV movie Spectre, which was a pilot that never got picked up. And in one of my favorite movies, The Greek Tycoon, a movie that is totally not about another Greek tycoon who married Jackie O, but it's exactly the same story. How many Greek tycoons do you know that married a president's widow? And like they had to say, well, that's not based on her.
It's totally fiction.
Yeah, this is fiction. How dare you? And then finally, the other important person in this is Patricia Haynes, who let's see what she was. She was in several episodes of The Avengers. She was on Emmerdale Farm, which you talked about as well. Mm-hmm. And
EastEnders was somebody in this was on EastEnders.
Yeah. She was in 3 episodes of The Avengers, though, and a lot of TV. And Adam Ant Lives. She was on that show too, which is very pre Austin Powers.
Yeah.
But it's pretty cool. Like it's an interesting show. Yeah. But I just think that's kind of funny. Also, Bill, there is a demand from viewers to see End of the World on the show some weekend.
I don't think that's a real thing.
I think there's one viewer that's demanding it. So maybe Dustin and his wife are demanding it. So that's viewers. I think that's okay. Then that's 2. Maybe his kids too. So that's 4 people.
One person is a significant percentage of this show's audience.
Yeah. So exactly. Yeah. But this is it's a dirty movie. It's one of those art movies, nudies.
Yeah.
As they say, but
nudies.
But I am excited for it, and I got so excited I made a drink. This drink came out really dark too, as it should.
Oh yeah.
All right, so let's get into it.
Witch, you're a witch.
Witch season is here. Blackberries aren't in season, but they're in this drink. We're not going to muddle them this time. You can if you want. If you get fresh ones, muddle them. If not, put them in, and they'll melt into the drink eventually. This is a High Priestess. This one's got vanilla vodka, blue curacao, grenadine.
This looks like a 4th of July drink.
It does look like a 4th of July drink, but it's really for the witches. Because it's going to get purple, and we all know that's witch color. Let's put your blackberries in there. Let's top them with some blue. That's pretty, huh? Mm-hmm. And let's bottle of red, bottle of white. Look at that. It's almost black. They said, could I make this drink any blacker? And I say, no. None more black. Look at that. It's like a little bubbling cauldron at this point. But
It is purple.
it is purple. But the most important question you might ask.
How does it taste? How's that purple drink taste?
How's that? How's that? Little bazooz in there. How's that taste? Great question. Let's get the answer. That is delightful. That is. I don't usually make a lot of vanilla drinks, and what am I thinking? Maybe I should. This is really nice. Is it staying in my mouth yet?
Let me see. A little bit.
Yeah. You got a black mouth.
Black Mouth Jones.
Black Mouth Jones. You got a little black mouth. Word of mouth. Anyways, enjoy the movie. Let's talk about virgin witches and drink some witch drinks.
Pazuzu.
Pazuzu.
I'm switching to water.
Wasn't it like 3:45 a.m. there?
It's 4:45.
4.
Yes, you did it.
Jesus Christ!
If you stay up another 15 minutes, Liam Gallagher's head will rise in the sun.
This is true.
You'll see it.
Yeah.
So,
Ew.
yeah. Apologies for the Billy Joel song in that recipe. I just was taking. I've been singing way too many Billy Joel songs lately.
Well, I was just kind of thinking, I was surprised that the Michelle sisters don't talk about this movie, because there's a whole scene in the beginning where the one girl gets talked into doing nude modeling.
Yeah.
Because everybody does it.
Yeah.
Of course.
And it's good money.
Yeah. Well, this is, again, we were talking before we came back. This is another one of those movies that like sets up the problem, but is part of the problem. They're like these horrible men that put women into movies and make them get naked. By the way, will you get naked for this movie?
Yeah.
Like it's horrible.
Yeah, there's a couple of scenes like that in this that are, now that you've said that, I'm like, oh, that's quite meta.
Yeah. It's like, oh, you wrote this, but you certainly don't believe it. Like these are the bad guys making people do it, and they're like, the foreign investors, and that's what happens.
Yeah,
we've seen it enough. At least they didn't have a giant space worm. That's Roger Corman's greatest, the best thing he ever did for us. He's like, what if a giant space worm attacks this girl? And she was like, I don't want to do it. But some guy in Japan gave us $50,000, and you have to do it.
That's right.
Man, there's a lot of Starship Invasions and End of the World. Yeah. Now I should have never opened this up to this. Oh, boy.
Jen, Eldon Glenn's on the same time as you.
Oh, hey, Eldon.
Chris is like, poor Jen, but he also was up at 5 a.m. recording a podcast with you. So
he was.
Yeah.
He sacrificed on that day.
He was a trooper.
Yes.
On that.
Your episode was great. I listened to it the other night while I was working on videos for the show.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, that was fun. I love that movie. Not Blood Sabbath, but
Black Sabbath.
The Mary Obama movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, so what about Black Sabbath? I mean, like, let's talk about that for a little bit. I know Sam would really like to.
Mm-hmm.
You guys should show that. Seriously, that is a great film.
It is. It is wonderful.
I like the alternate title, Earth.
You did it to me. I was waiting to hear what it was, and then I'm like, that's a good one.
Thank you.
Yes. Well done. Do you think that all guitar players in Black Sabbath tribute bands have to get their fingers cut off so that they're, so they like that's how, if you want to sound like him, you got to lose your fingers.
Mm-hmm. You could just learn to play like that too.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't have to.
Or do you want to put leather caps on your stumps and learn how to play? Like,
you could tape one finger to the other one. Maybe.
Yeah, exactly.
I wouldn't go that far though.
No,
I'd be like, no, I'm not doing that.
Yeah, but
Director.
Are you going to commit to the bit?
I love Black Sabbath. The movie, not the. I like the band too, but
I love the band. Yeah.
The movie is just like really. I think it's one of the creepiest things in a movie is that Wordalac sequence. I mean, all of it is great. Like the weird corpse in the bed is like, but That was the one you guys talked a lot about on the episode. Was the
That
triple?
terrified me as a kid. I mean, oh man, like nightmares for like a year.
Yeah.
I laughed the first time I saw it, so I didn't think it was that scary. I did think the Wordalac was really creepy, just because of how weird Boris Karloff is in that sequence. I mean, it's just sheer genius, and that it's supposed to be outdoors, but it's on a set and everything. And how phony everything was. It was super creepy.
Yeah, it's really good.
There's a remake that just came out this year that is all shot with Boris Karloff's character is played by a puppet. So when he comes back, he's a puppet the whole time, and it's really like Uncanny Valley and really creepy. That's Steve.
Wow.
That's awesome. Great quote.
Was Dio short too?
Oh yeah, Dio's super short.
I
Dio's
didn't
the shortest.
know he was
Yeah,
short guy.
yeah. Dio's my favorite Black Sabbath singer. He's great because like all the songs suddenly start being about dragons and like voodoo.
I think the material was better during the Ozzy period, but the Dio period, I just was never into it. The Dio period.
I love
Not that I have anything against Dio or anything.
No,
It didn't mean anything to me.
The scene in heavy metal where they use mob rules is like the greatest thing. And I saw it when I was a kid.
That.
Oh my god, yeah, I was so into Neon Nights is one of my favorite songs. Like I love both versions of Sabbath, but I love Dio Sabbath. But I can sing the Ozzy ones. You can sing. The Dio ones are a little harder to sing. Like he can, he's got the lungs on those. But yeah, I like Dio. Ozzy, you just sing just triple track in, you'll be fine. Just throw your voice on top.
He's not a great vocalist. It's certainly not on the level of Dio. I just, I dug the Ozzy material so much because those were the first records I ever played. Like my dad had those, and I used to play Led Zeppelin 2 and Sabbath, Bloody Sabbath, and Paranoid over and over again.
No, I love them. Like Sabbath, Bloody Sabbath is like my favorite riff ever.
That was like 3. I should point out that was like
my dad had Zeppelin 3, and I played Zeppelin 3 all the time. So they had the album where you turned the wheel and like all the cover changed.
Physical graffiti.
Yeah.
Or was it? No, that's Zeppelin 3. Sorry, you said
Zeppelin 3. Yeah.
Third segment time.
That's all right. Yeah, so that's a little third segment stuff about Ozzy and Dio, but anywho,
the Bava game plan is just genius in Black Sabbath too. It's like a storybook, an evil storybook come to life.
Yeah.
What about the different versions, Jen? You guys were talking about the 2 versions of that.
Yeah, I love the Italian version. But you miss Boris's voice because he had such a great voice. So if somebody could take those audio elements and put it on the Italian version, you'd have the perfect version of Black Sabbath. But yeah, the stories are in a different order in the Italian version, and the second story, which is called The Telephone, is a completely different story. They've changed it altogether.
The music's a lot different too, right? There's a lot of different music cues and stuff too.
All the music's different.
Yeah.
Wasn't Alice Baxter too?
No, I don't think it is. The Italian version.
No, the American one with the different music.
The American one is Les Baxter. Yeah, it's a little bit more whimsical. And then trying to think what the other differences were, but there's quite a few actually. The host segments with Karloff are completely refilmed for AIP. So yeah,
it's still wild to me like how many Bava movies got released by AIP. Like he was like a known quantity for them for a long time, and like they aired on TV too. Like, and it's like I always think of him as like the cult director, but it's like no, like a lot of people saw his movies in the U.S.
Yeah.
Maybe they didn't associate his name with them, at the time, but
yeah.
But
I was telling you guys, I just came from seeing Beetlejuice tonight before this, And there's a whole lot of Mario Bava shout outs in that movie. They name check him like twice. And there's a whole sequence that's basically Black Sunday in the film, you know, with Beetlejuice, which is at that point I was just like, okay, you got my money, I'm all in, you know. So it's not the original, but that alone was amazing.
Black Sundays, the scene with her coming out with the dogs out of the fog is like one of the greatest things that's ever happened in movies. It's so good. Definitely. Also, Kino's putting out Danger Diabolic 4K. And I think it's going to be a different print than the one that was on the Shop Factory one. So it's going to be a cleaned up new version of the print. And like, how many times can you buy one movie, Sam? A whole bunch. You can buy it every time it comes out.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm very excited about that. But yeah.
Is that the only Bava movie you haven't shown? Or what about Whipping the Body? You've shown that, right?
There's a lot.
We haven't shown Kidnapped, aka Rabid Dogs. We haven't shown that one.
Yep.
And
we never did the Whipping the Body.
Hercules in the Haunted World we haven't done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kaltiki
we haven't done. Yeah, so there's a few to get to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I love Kaltiki.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whipping the Bodies, I love that soundtrack.
Yeah.
I have that on in my iPod. I'm like, oh, just awesome.
I remember when that was on Chiller Theater.
Yeah.
They showed what on Chiller Theater?
Wow. We should show Knives of the Avenger with Gamera. That's my favorite double feature. Like, what a wild, like, who considered, like, you know what would be good? That Mario Bava Western that's kind of but all set in the Roman Empire. Gamera.
Mm-hmm. And 4 Times That Night, the sex comedy that he did.
I love that movie. It's so good.
Yeah.
Yeah. The scene where she's on the swing is beautiful. He's like,
I want to live in that apartment.
Oh my God. I know. It's so good.
Yeah. Oh, you guys should do Black Sabbath though. That's just right in your alley. So yeah. That's such a great movie.
We usually don't. Bill and I were always like, those everybody's seen those, but maybe they haven't. You know, we like showing Crypto Dark Secrets and stuff like that.
That's more exciting.
Yeah, that's the stuff that we show where it's like, oh yeah, no one's ever talking about that.
Yeah.
But we'll get to them. Yeah. I mean, we've shown some bigger ones before.
So many movies, so little time.
Yeah.
And like I said, the big ones that we showed, like Phantasm, nobody was on that night. No one came on and watched it. It was, the regulars were here, but it was just a few. I remember, wow, I thought we'd get a lot more people for Phantasm. So it's like, seems like the weirder we go, the more numbers we have.
Yeah.
Sorry, it's the ratings.
Just wait till we show the Mummy theme park. It's going to be in the hundreds.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody will be there.
Yeah.
I'm just people like head now. My lamp went out.
You're like zombie now.
It was interesting. Yeah. The wish is granted. Long live zombie.
Long live zombie.
Hey, Jenn Upton, thanks for doing the show tonight.
Thank you for having me again, guys. I love it.
Awesome. Well, we love having you on. So look forward to you coming back.
Yeah.
For Black Sabbath.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Whipping the Body. I love Whipping the Body.
I like this. Like we're going.
It sounds like a good idea.
It's such a kinky movie. It's great.
Yeah, there's that's what I like about it, where it's like you could tell like she was in a horrible relationship with him, but she really misses it and she really liked it.
Yeah.
And it's like, what a wild thing to be in a movie from that far back. Do you know what I mean? Like, oh.
It's literally whipping. The whole movie is whipping.
I think that's why I turned it off when it was on Chiller Theater.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, you will enjoy the movie I sent you then, Jen, because there's a very pivotal whipping scene in it.
Amazing. Cool.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to your report.
This is very cryptic all of a sudden.
Yes. Not that movie. It's a real movie. It's not one I made.
Oh. Thank God. I was starting to get nervous there.
Yeah. It's just me self-flagellating like some filler in it.
All right. The link is on YouTube. So go get it on Groovy Doom. It's on YouTube, I think, Virgin Witch. So go watch it. Come back afterwards. And thanks again, Jenn Upton, for
Cheers.
being on the show.
Have a good one.
See you.